For decades, walking has been treated as the gold standard of exercise for adults over 60. Doctors recommend it, communities promote it, and many seniors believe that as long as they keep walking, they're doing enough to protect their health. But emerging research is starting to challenge this long-held assumption. Walking is beneficial, yes, but it may no longer be sufficient as the primary form of exercise in later life. As we age, the body changes in ways that walking alone cannot fully address. Muscle mass naturally declines, balance becomes less reliable, and joints become more sensitive to repetitive impact. Walking mainly works endurance and basic mobility, but it does very little to preserve strength in the large muscle groups that protect independence, especially the thighs, hips, core, and glutes. These muscles are critical for standing up, climbing stairs, catching yourself during a slip, and preventing falls. What's more, many seniors walk with poor mechanics due to pain, stiffness, or fear of falling. Over time, this can reinforce weakness rather than fix it. Simply adding more steps does not rebuild lost muscle or retrain balance systems that have been neglected for years. This is where a major shift is happening in senior fitness thinking. Researchers are finding that targeted, low-impact strength movements, especially those that can be done safely from a chair, may outperform walking when it comes to reducing falls, easing joint pain, and rebuilding muscle after 60. The goal is no longer just to stay active, but to train the body for real-life demands. Walking still has value, but it may be time to stop treating it as the whole solution and start seeing it as just one small piece of a much smarter approach to aging well. What truly surprised researchers was not just that chair exercises worked, but that they worked better than walking in several critical areas of senior health. In long-term observations of adults over 65, those who followed a structured, chair-based exercise routine experienced dramatically fewer falls, far less joint pain, and greater gains in muscle mass compared to those who relied mainly on walking. The reason is simple but powerful. Chair exercises target what aging actually takes away. Strength, balance, and neuromuscular control decline faster than endurance. Walking repeats the same low-intensity pattern, often avoiding weak muscles rather than rebuilding them. Chair exercises, on the other hand, allow precise activation of the quadriceps, hips, core, and upper body, without joint impact or fear of falling. This makes it possible to train harder and safer at the same time. Even more compelling is the effect on daily independence. Simple actions like standing up from a chair, carrying groceries, or catching yourself during a stumble all depend on strength and coordination, not step count. When these capacities improve, confidence returns, and confidence itself reduces fall risk. Some studies also suggest that improved strength reduces reliance on pain medication, creating a positive cycle of movement instead of limitation. Perhaps the biggest advantage is accessibility. Chair exercises remove barriers. No gym, no special equipment, no perfect balance required. Just consistency and proper form. For many seniors, this approach doesn't just feel easier, it finally feels possible. Now it's your turn. If this perspective challenged what you've been told about exercise after 60, subscribe for more science-backed senior health insights. Comment below. How old are you? And what daily movement has become harder for you lately? If you found this helpful, like the video so more seniors can see it, and let's start a smarter conversation about aging strong. After 60, the real goal of exercise is no longer weight loss or hitting a step count. It's independence. The ability to live on your own, get up from a chair without help, walk confidently, and recover quickly from a misstep depends on strength and balance far more than endurance. This is where many well-intentioned walking routines fall short. Aging affects the nervous system as much as the muscles. Reaction time slows, coordination weakens, and the body's internal balance sensors become less reliable. Walking on flat ground does little to retrain these systems. In contrast, well-designed chair exercises challenge the brain and body together. Controlled movements, slow repetitions, and changes in direction force muscles and nerves to communicate again, something that often fades quietly with age. There's also a psychological shift that happens. When seniors feel stronger, they move differently. They stand taller, take longer steps, and stop bracing for pain or fear of falling. That confidence feeds back into the body, improving posture, breathing, and overall movement quality. Strength training doesn't just rebuild muscle, it restores trust in your own body. Most importantly, independence is not lost all at once. It fades through small struggles, needing armrests to stand, avoiding stairs, hesitating before stepping outside. Chair-based strength exercises directly reverse these moments. They train the exact movements required for real life in a controlled and safe way. Aging well is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Build strength, protect balance, and train for the life you want to keep living. One of the biggest reasons exercise programs fail after 60 isn't lack of motivation. It's fear and discomfort. Many seniors start with good intentions, only to stop after joint pain flares up, balance feels shaky, or the routine simply feels too intimidating. An exercise that can't be sustained is no exercise at all. Chair-based exercises solve this problem at its core. By removing the fear of falling and minimizing joint impact, they create a sense of safety that allows people to focus on proper movement instead of bracing for pain. When the body feels safe, muscles activate more effectively, breathing stays calm, and progress happens faster. This is especially important for those with arthritis, previous injuries, or long periods of inactivity. Consistency is where real change occurs. Chair exercises fit easily into daily life, during TV time, between chores, or as short movement breaks throughout the day. There's no need to wait for good weather, drive to a gym, or commit to long sessions. When exercise feels convenient and manageable, people actually keep doing it, and that's what produces results. Another overlooked benefit is form control. Sitting down slows movements naturally, making it easier to learn correct technique. This reduces strain on the knees, hips, and lower back, while still challenging the muscles that matter most. Over time, these controlled patterns carry over into standing, walking, and daily tasks. In the end, the best exercise is not the hardest one. It's the one you can do safely, consistently, and with confidence. Chair exercises check all three boxes, which is why they are becoming a cornerstone of smarter training after 60. Among all chair-based exercises, one movement stands above the rest: the chair squat, also known as the sit to stand. This simple action, standing up from a chair and sitting back down with control, trains more muscles at once than almost any other exercise a senior can do safely. It targets the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, core, and even challenges balance and coordination in a way that directly translates to real life. What makes chair squats so powerful is their relevance. Standing up is something we do dozens of times a day. When this movement becomes difficult, independence begins to slip. Chair squats rebuild the exact strength needed for getting out of bed, rising from the toilet, climbing stairs, and recovering from a stumble. This is why researchers consistently find that sit-to-stand ability is one of the strongest predictors of long-term independence after 70. There's also a deeper biological effect. Chair squats stimulate large muscle groups, which sends strong signals to the body to preserve muscle tissue, support bone density, and maintain healthy hormone levels associated with strength and recovery. When done slowly and with control, they are especially effective at rebuilding muscle that has been lost to aging, without stressing the joints. Just as important, chair squats rebuild confidence. Each successful repetition reinforces the message that the body is still capable and strong. Over time, that confidence spills into daily movement, reducing hesitation and fear of falling. Simple doesn't mean easy, and it certainly doesn't mean ineffective. For adults over 60, chair squats are not just an exercise. They are a foundation for staying strong, stable, and independent for years to come. One of the most encouraging discoveries about chair-based training is how little time it actually requires. A complete routine built around just 5 chair exercises can be finished in under 20 minutes. Yet it trains strength, balance, coordination, and endurance all at once. For many older adults, this is the missing link, an approach that delivers real results without overwhelming the body or the schedule. This kind of program works because it respects how seniors live. It doesn't demand perfect energy levels, special equipment, or long recovery times. Movements can be broken into short sets throughout the day, making them easier to maintain even on low energy days. And because the exercises are low impact and controlled, recovery is faster, allowing consistency week after week. That consistency is what protects independence over time. Perhaps most importantly, this approach shifts the mindset around aging. Exercise is no longer something you push through or fear. It becomes a daily tool for maintaining freedom. When seniors feel stronger and steadier, they're more likely to stay active, socialize, and move with confidence. That ripple effect extends far beyond physical health. If you want more evidence-based strategies for staying strong and independent after 60, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment below and tell us your age and which daily movement you want to make easier: standing up, walking, stairs, or balance. If this series helped you see exercise differently, like and share it so more seniors can discover a safer, smarter way to stay strong. One of the most damaging myths about aging is the belief that decline is inevitable and irreversible. In reality, strength, balance, and coordination behave more like skills than fixed traits. When they are not used, they fade. But when they are trained correctly, even later in life, they return. Chair-based exercise proved this in a very tangible way. The human body remains remarkably adaptable well into old age. Muscles still respond to resistance, bones still react to load, and the nervous system can relearn movement patterns that were lost through inactivity or fear. The key is providing the right stimulus in a safe environment. Chair exercises do exactly that by allowing controlled challenge without overwhelming the joints or balance systems. This reframes aging from something that happens to you into something you can actively influence. Small, consistent movements compound over time. What starts as difficulty standing up becomes confidence rising from a chair. What begins as fear of falling becomes steadier steps and faster reactions. These are not cosmetic improvements. They directly affect quality of life. Perhaps most empowering of all is the realization that it's never too late. Progress may look different at 60, 70, or 80, but the capacity to improve is still there. Strength regained at any age is strength that protects independence. Aging strong is not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming function, confidence, and control over your own body. And with the right approach, that journey can begin today. One simple movement at a time. When exercise is viewed only as a way to burn calories or stay active, its true value is underestimated, especially after 60. At this stage of life, movement becomes a long-term investment in independence. Every controlled repetition, every regained bit of strength, is a deposit toward being able to live on your own terms for years to come. Chair-based training shifts the focus from performance to purpose. The question is no longer, how far can I walk, but can I get up easily, move confidently, and recover when something goes wrong? These abilities determine whether someone continues living independently or begins relying on assistance. Exercise, when designed correctly, directly trains these outcomes. There is also a powerful emotional dimension. When seniors feel capable in their bodies, their world expands instead of shrinking. They are more willing to travel, socialize, and engage in daily life. One of the most overlooked truths about healthy aging is that transformation does not come from extreme effort, but from small actions repeated consistently. After 60, the body responds far better to frequent, manageable movement than to occasional intense workouts. This is where chair-based exercise becomes especially powerful. When movements are simple and safe, they are more likely to be practiced every day. Those daily repetitions quietly rebuild strength, reinforce balance, and retrain coordination. Over weeks and months, these small gains compound. Standing up becomes easier, walking feels steadier, fatigue decreases. These changes may seem subtle at first, but together they dramatically reduce the risk of falls, injury, and loss of independence. Consistency also reshapes the nervous system. Repeated, controlled movements teach the brain that the body is capable and reliable. This reduces fear-based stiffness and hesitation, which are common contributors to poor movement and falls in older adults. In many cases, the confidence gained from daily practice is just as valuable as the physical strength itself. Importantly, this approach removes the pressure to do everything at once. A few minutes today is enough. Progress does not require perfection, only participation. Even on low-energy days, gentle chair exercises keep the system active and prevent decline from creeping back in. Over time, these small daily choices create a powerful outcome, a body that feels trustworthy again. And that trust is the foundation of long-term mobility, safety, and quality of life after 60. Aging does not mean giving up control over your body or your future. After 60, the difference between simply getting older and aging well often comes down to one decision: choosing an exercise approach that protects independence instead of just burning calories. Strength, balance, and confidence are the currencies of healthy aging, and they must be trained deliberately. Chair-based exercise represents a smarter path forward. It respects the realities of an aging body while still challenging it in the ways that matter most. Instead of stressing joints or relying on willpower to push through pain, it builds strength safely, restores balance, and reinforces real-life movements like standing, reaching, and recovering from a misstep. Over time, these abilities determine whether daily life feels limited or free. This approach also changes the mindset around aging. Exercise becomes something you use to maintain control, not something you endure. Small, consistent efforts begin to add up. Movements feel smoother. Confidence grows. Tasks that once required effort start to feel natural again. That is how independence is preserved. Quietly, steadily, and on your own terms. If you want more science-backed strategies for staying strong, balanced, and independent after 60, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Comment below and tell us your age and one movement you want to improve: standing up, walking, balance, or stairs. If this message resonated with you, like and share it so more seniors can discover a smarter way to age strong.